Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And you're listening to The Drop. And if you don't know what that is, you may want to stop your show right now and go find another podcast because this is about to get weird.
Yep. Don't stop though. That's you need to at least get through the sponsor ad so we can get paid.
I was trying to do reverse psychology, like, hey, leave now.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to hear it get weird.
I mean, I got you.
Yeah,
then
you
you stick around to see how weird it gets.
Yeah, you might find out whether or not Robbie smoked a cigarette.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we'll see.
jeez.
What's your bet right now?
I'm not. We're starting off with that part. All right. Carl's dying already.
All right.
My favorite part about recording a podcast is watching Carl laugh.
Yeah.
He's our live audience.
Yeah. Audience of one.
All right, let's get into it. Berlin Marathon recap. Mm-hmm. All right, Thomas is chewing his face off of the CHERIBUNDI. You'll get that at some point. I don't even know when.
Yeah, somewhere in the mix.
Chewing his CHERIBUNDI gummies.
I think I've had too many.
There's no THC in them, Thomas.
I know,
it's just cherry juice, isn't it?
The problem is they taste really good.
They do.
So,
I didn't know I
Eat some
wanted
like
a snack
candy.
as much as I wanted one.
Yeah. So you're welcome, CHERIBUNDI. That's a free
So
ad
good.
spot right there.
Yeah. All right.
So we just got back from Berlin
We did. How did we get there?
on a plane. 3 of them, actually. 3 different ones. That was less fun.
Which one was your favorite plane?
Yeah, I felt like it was the last one. We were on a new Delta plane. I couldn't even say that sentence right. Remember it had the windows that you could drag your finger on.
Oh, you mean on the way home?
Oh, the
Yeah.
long ride home.
I couldn't.
yeah.
I couldn't get next to the window. We had like
We were in the middle.
Yeah, we had.
It had the windows that were touchscreen that you adjusted
that.
the dim and bright.
That's fancy.
Have you seen that before?
No.
No, but what's gross about that is,
Everyone's hands.
Yeah,
I guess your hands are on the
I
pull
did
down
it.
shade too.
I actually did it with my tongue. The snozberries tasted like snozberries.
How many people do you think have done it with their tongue?
I don't know, enough. Dude, there's a whole
think there's
subreddit. There's a 4chan devoted to tongue lickers on the windows of planes.
Do you think that Boeing tested for that? Like, will this work if someone licks it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they probably have a department.
Yeah. Things get weird. Government contractors, that's a whole weird subset of society.
I have to say, our planes on the way back were lesser quality.
He was just saying how they were fancy.
No,
with
that-
the windows.
that
Wasn't the Wi-Fi broke? And then
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
stuck like something in my earphone jack.
I just assume that Wi-Fi is broken on every plane.
I don't understand this. Why is it so hard to get Wi-Fi in an airplane?
I don't know how there's not a Starlink on every plane. Just
Why is
do
it free in some and not in others?
No one knows.
Why can't internet be free?
Yeah.
All we do is shop on the internet. I mean, you might as well make it free.
That's true.
Why isn't Amazon sponsoring the internet?
Or
And people thought they were getting a Berlin Marathon recap.
you're getting a rant on airlines.
The problem with when you start going down the airline talk, it's endless.
Yeah.
You could talk about anything from the airports, the airport bathrooms, to obviously we talked about that many times on this podcast.
I really like
to the people.
Amsterdam airport, I think is nice.
The flight attendants are so great on international
Yeah.
flights. We've talked about it all.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Berlin.
All right. So we landed in Berlin and immediately,
Went for a run,
Yeah.
like within seconds. We
which
checked
I
in,
mean-
ran upstairs, changed, ran.
Yeah.
so we got put up in the Soho house, which Robbie read was a Hitler Youth.
It was the former headquarters. The building was the former headquarters of the Hitler Youth. But when you're in Germany, you can just throw a rock
Every
in
building,
any
yeah.
direction and you're going to hit a headquarters.
Okay. But then,
I didn't like knowing that information though.
and
It
then
made
it
it-
turned into Stalin's headquarters, right?
Yeah. It's like a really nice building that has a sordid history.
Did you
what are
feel?
you gonna do?
I felt a certain feeling in that building.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's some ghosts.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably were. I didn't encounter any personally, but actually, you know what? I thought I did the first night, but it turns out I never experienced turn down service in a hotel. So I thought maybe some ghosts were best with me, turn on my radio and like close my blinds. And then and the next day I realized, there's people in here that make your room nice again.
What was awkward though, they would show up and they're like, if you were in your room, it was like turn down service. I'm like,
The ghost did?
no, yeah, like, but I'm like, I'm
The
kind of
people.
like, yeah, I was like, I don't want you. I would like the waters.
And
So
did
I-
you think
one
that
time
was like a massage type lingo or something?
I talked to Carl about it because he's into the massage stuff.
I mean, like the
So yeah, he said it was fine.
so it's not like a suggestion, like
No, it's
You've
not.
never been to a hotel with turn down service in the evening?
Does Comfort Inn have that?
I like it when they leave food for you.
I like when they leave the little chocolate on the pillow. That's the best.
But they didn't do that here. They just gave you waters.
Yeah, which honestly was better for us at the time.
This was the most watered I had ever been in a hotel room. Like normally, I think we get there and we don't get enough water, so we're always thirsty.
Yeah.
This time we had water from the hotel. We went and purchased some water.
What was the store we went to?
There's
the
two-
discount store.
Kittles or
Nick's something.
nettles?
Nettles?
Yeah, stinging nettles.
Knitters?
There was too much bottle opening going on, so I just use the tap anyways.
Dude.
I can't open that many bottles.
You can't drink tap water in Germany.
That's all.
Do you know
what
that
I drank?
all that is like, it's water from the Rhine.
I mean, it seemed to work out. I guess
They don't even
He
filter.
had a great run,
Yeah,
so
I don't think
it's
they
fine.
filter it.
It doesn't bother me.
I'm sure it's fine.
Anyways, but yeah, so that we went for a run straight out of our hotel, and it was cool.
I didn't realize we were
Kind of.
on the east side of Berlin, like when there was a wall.
Yeah.
Where we were staying was the Russian side.
Yep. Yeah. So it looked a little Soviet-y.
Yeah.
Is that an adjective?
I
sounds
would
right.
say yeah.
I was actually looking up this morning kind of the architectural.
It's called like grotesque or something like that.
Well, there's the Brutalist,
Brutalist, that's it.
but then there's Bauhaus, and then
But Bauhaus wasn't Russian.
no, but in German style. So, and then obviously neoclassical, and it's kind of a mix of all of them.
I feel like because of where we were and what we were doing, I didn't really see all the sides of Berlin. I obviously when we ran through it, but yeah, I kind of have like a one-dimensional view of the city so far.
Where we were, so the Alexanderplatz, where the TV tower is, that was like the socialist kind of not center of the Stalin kind of part. Yeah, the party, Socialist Party, is kind of like the center of things. That's why the TV tower is supposed to be this amazing monument, which is still apparently one of the most tallest buildings in Europe.
That's crazy.
At the time, it was the tallest structure.
It kind of looks like a public elementary school shaped into a ball stuck on a needle.
Yeah. In the daytime, it wasn't cool, but at night, it looked way better.
Yeah, it did. I have a great picture of it.
Yeah. Anyway, so, but the run was, I always like going on a run right when you get there. Just no matter how bad it feels, just
It does feel bad coming off.
I
the
thought
plane.
it felt okay.
No, once we got out there,
Yeah.
but that putting on the clothes and
Yeah.
strapping on the shoes and knowing that you're about to go for a run didn't seem like the greatest idea.
Yeah.
But it was
It's
fun.
like, and we ran for what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, that's all we had.
Yeah.
So we went straight to dinner with everyone, which was fun.
Yeah. So, so we had dinner that night, and then the next day,
We got introduced to the new Evo SL.
the Adidas Evo SL.
I mean, they had they were launching two shoes, the Adios Pro 4 and the Evo SL. And we had already run in the Pro 4, so we kind of were familiar with the shoe, but it was neat to see they had it all broken apart and all the pieces laid out. And we got a little talk about the choices they made and why this became the 4.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
And if you've obviously been following us on Instagram, you've seen the photos of the shoe, or if we had a first thoughts on the website, and then the Evo SL, of course.
Yeah, we had first thoughts for both the
For
SL
both of them.
and the Evo on YouTube.
and we talked about this on the podcast, last week?
But now we run a marathon in it.
Yeah. And
It's a little different.
right. But then the Evo SL, that's like I don't know, what would you call it? What
The daily trainer version.
daily trainer of the Evo Pro 1?
Yeah.
But
it's nothing, it looks like the Evo Pro 1, but that's the only
similarity. I have to say though, I really like this shoe.
Okay. Yeah, I actually got the wrong size, so I have not run in it. So I'm gonna have to believe you.
It might be my my favorite shoe.
Okay, really?
It's really good.
I really like it.
I'm wearing it right now.
And it uses the same Lightstrike Pro as the Adios Pro 3.
Correct.
And there's a new foam in the Pro 4.
Right.
But there's no plate or anything, no rods, no.
That's the thing.
It's just a slab of foam.
Apparently there's a dog bone shaped shank in it, but people are, yeah.
I thought there's a real dog bone in it.
No.
Like a dog bone or a wishbone?
When I was talking to the designer, he's like, actually, I was talking to Nick, and he said there's like a little bit of a shank in it.
Okay.
But it's not like a plate or anything.
It's like a
that.
game of operation, but for a shoe. Okay.
And your nose won't turn red.
You get tweezers with it, every pair.
Remember you used to jump as a kid when that thing hit?
Oh, yeah. Dude, because when you're
That was
trying to
the
get the
worst sound.
funny bone, nobody can.
Well, you're concentrating so hard.
Yeah. The funny bone was a hard one. I think the ribs, I think was wishbone a hard one?
Wishbone was real hard.
Yeah. The easy one was like the bread basket. No problems there.
Anyhow, along with the Adidas Light Strike Pro foam, you have the Continental Rub outsole.
Was that a German word?
Yeah, what was that?
What did I say?
Foam.
Foam?
I like how you
Foam.
picked up a German accent and
Jawohl.
while we were there. No.
I mean, the upper is built for daily training. You've got a structured heel counter, a nicely padded collar. Robbie, what do you think of the laces? I know you love their non-stretchy, thin laces.
Oh, is it the same laces as the Pro?
Yeah,
It
it
is.
looks like it.
I like those laces. I hadn't.
Oh, you do? I thought you had trouble getting the right fit with these types of laces.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think those ones.
Okay. The only issue I have with this shoe was the tongue slides down a little bit. It's not too bad, and they could have made it just slightly longer. I mean, when I was talking with Aubrey, he really wanted to gusset.
Okay.
I could go with a gusset or maybe just stitch to one side to hold it up.
Yeah.
But-
And it has Continental rubber outsole.
Yeah.
Continental.
And Meg, kind of describe how it feels to run in.
It's like squishy and very comfortable, but it also feels really light.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but it just feels great.
I think it's almost one of the hardest shoes for these shoes companies to make is like a really simple shoe because you keep wanting to be like, no, it needs this, but like the right foam.
Yeah. Sometimes it's all you need.
Normally I'm craving a plate, and I would assume like it's kind of like this to me seems like the New Balance Rebel if you were comparing it to another brand.
Yeah.
And in that shoe I kind of wanted a plate, but in this one I'm content without it.
Well, this one has more stack height. I don't know
Yeah.
the exact stack height on it, but
It also feels like I think it is like a bit of a denser foam. And so it just feels like it has a little bit more structure to it maybe.
yeah, this one, like Robbie, remember how much you like the Nike Epic React? This to me is that shoe from Adidas.
okay.
Like, and not that it's similar in ride or fit, but I like it that much.
All right. I'm interested.
And I know they're going to come out with some banging colors.
Yeah, it's a good looking shoe. Yeah, so we went they had a whole thing in the morning launching this shoe, and that was fine. That was cool. Had a coffee and stuff.
Wait, and we got our nails done.
Oh, yeah.
You had coffee and stuff. I was getting a shirt pressed. I tried to get socks made, but boy,
Yeah, the Rumpelstiltskin behind the sewing machine. She was there for like 2 days straight.
I feel bad for her.
She lived there.
I don't even think she drank water during that
Who was
time.
like, we could just embroider stuff right there. They didn't realize that each sock was going to take 30 minutes.
It really puts it, when you see that kind of stuff, someone slaving away behind a sock machine, it really gives you some appreciation for the goods you're wearing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Although what it did was made me frustrated. I'm like, move faster.
yeah. You're like, you're getting paid $3 an hour. How are you not working faster?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they had, what do you call those? Nail technicians?
Yeah.
Manicurists?
And we all got it
Mannequins.
except for you, T.
I was busy doing stuff. I don't know what I was doing, but I came back and I noticed Robbie and Carl getting theirs done.
Yeah, we were being real pretty.
And then I was like, I wouldn't mind getting a 3-stripe fingernail, but you were jumped in, and then it seemed like a line was kind of forming, and I was just like, I didn't want to get involved.
Yeah, Carl got both hands done, and he looks pretty good. Looks like, I don't even know how to describe you over there.
He was very excited about it. More excited than me, I think.
Yeah, he's smiling like a little schoolgirl over there.
Yeah. They also
and-
had a place to get your hair done, which was pretty cool.
Did they really?
I didn't do it, but yeah.
So I was wondering about that. If you get your hair done, 2 days.
How did I miss the hair done
It
place?
was literally right beside
Yeah, it
the.
was right next to the nails.
Yeah.
Ugh.
If you get your hair done 3 days before race, is it still done when you get the
No,
race
absolutely
day?
not. Especially because I'm going to run and then wash my hair again.
Okay.
That was like for the evening.
Oh.
The other thing that I missed was they released a limited edition version of the Adidas Adi Zero shoe. It was
The Adios, the original Adios.
yeah.
The OG Adios.
Yeah, that's what it was, the OG. And then they had a room where they had a vinyl album for each year that an Adidas shoe broke the marathon record.
It was like records for records.
Yeah.
That was the play on words.
Aubrey found it. He got himself a pair. Like if you went back in that room, you would have gotten yourself a pair of the OGs. But he also picked up an Oasis album that when he's like, I don't know, I just grabbed this one. He goes, it's not really my type of music. And I said, well, I know somebody that would like that.
Yeah, he gave it to me, and that was pretty cool.
I saw your face. You look like a kid getting a Christmas present.
It was Don't Believe the Truth, and that came out in 2005, same year as the OG Adios, and I was like, dude, that's pretty cool. And anyways, that was nice, yeah. And what was I talking about? The nail? I was gonna say nail technicians. I never got my nails done or anything.
Really?
Aside from like the girl who I was in love with in high school, who I was in a friend zone like 100%, like not even
and
one.
She dressed you up as
not
a
even
lady?
1 foot outside, and she's like, "Oh, let me paint your nails." I'm like, "Absolutely, like 100%."
You'll touch me?
Yeah, like wait, does this involve you touching my hand?
Yeah,
for
I'm in.
more than 30 seconds. Not brushing when I'm like trying to grab a pencil off the table.
And then she was like, put this little dress on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you pretty much do anything at that point.
I'm going to take some photos.
Yeah.
Share them at school.
Yeah. So, well, that was before iPhones. That was probably a good thing.
Yeah, good.
So she had to use one of those disposable Kodak cameras.
Yeah. But anyways, so I burned all those letters. But I was going to say, it was nice. You get to have a conversation with the person doing the nails and stuff.
Did you talk to your nail technician, Meg?
Yeah, a little bit.
What'd you learn?
I don't even remember. They were mostly asking us about the marathon and
Okay.
what we were
we should
doing,
probably start
where we
getting,
came from.
All right, I'll stop talking about that stuff. So then let's just go to the next day.
Our shakeout run.
Yeah, shakeout run.
That was epic.
It was like, I have to say, it was a little nerve wracking just going in and not knowing if we would translate to German.
Yeah. Like, how do you even translate believe in the run into German?
They had a group there called Optimistic Runners, and we thought that was the closest thing you could get to.
That's actually a good point. And I thought when I saw the name of that, I think it was a store. It was near our hotel. I was like, is that one of those things that's kind of lost a little bit in translation?
I felt
like they don't know what that word means.
they had a bunch of stuff. No, they do. They're like, they looked at, what would be somebody who is very
Positive
about running. Optimistic.
I mean, that makes sense.
I
but
felt like there was a lot of that in Germany.
yeah,
Like
for
close.
Sure. Well, whenever there's
Happy Time Pizza.
sometimes I'll see European brands try to put slogans on their shirts, and it's like doesn't hit.
Are you thinking of a specific brand?
Yeah,
I know what you're
and
thinking.
it doesn't hit in it from an American culture standpoint. It just doesn't hit the same way as an Adidas or Nike thing.
When we got the Believe in the Run translated to Japanese, there was actually like 3 different translations they came back with that all had a little bit of a different emphasis on what you're trying to say. So I had to talk to someone and be like, this is what we are intending it to mean. And they gave us a proper translation for that. But I think that's the exact same thing. It's like if you just Google a phrase or something,
Right.
it'll come back with it and you don't know.
Yeah.
Like, is that the proper way to use it?
Shakeout run. So we had a really cool venue.
Yeah.
What I was saying is it didn't. We weren't sure if it translated. Our audience translated in Germany, but lucky for us, most of the people who came to our shakeout run were Canadian or U.S. or U.K. As a matter of fact, at the beginning of the shakeout run, I asked how many people from Germany, and there was like 3 claps, and I said how many people are here from anywhere else, and we got the rest of the claps.
There are some people from Indonesia. He gave me like money from there. There's like $10,000 in that money, and I think that's worth maybe 2 cents.
Yeah,
which it's like how much just
reset,
cut the numbers off, cut the zeros off.
That's what I don't understand about that. Like when you're paying like 1,000 pesos,
and it's a bill.
Yeah,
I'm like, so I dropped it on the ground for him and picked it up as if I was.
That's what he wanted.
I don't know if he did.
So is that that's almost like a stripper. He
Yeah,
threw it down
we
for
were
you.
we were definitely role playing some raccoon stuff on the run. He made me wear like a tail and everything. It was weird. I'm just kidding.
Oh, jeez.
But anyways, so that was cool. And then there's other countries for sure.
Yeah, there was
Ireland,
I think there's a lot of UK.
but UK was pretty strong.
Yeah.
Japan.
And it was great. We also had, some of the people that were there with Adidas that were with us, like Let's Run Faster, Jeffrey, and then Greg from Run Shoot Bible, Fino,
Yeah.
The Fluencers.
Running Shoe World.
Yeah. And it's always surprising to me. There's people listening right now from everywhere.
One guy
and I'm
told,
like, do you understand what we're talking about?
well, it was crazy at the end of the marathon.
Yeah.
I ran into a guy and he said he actually listened to the podcast during the marathon.
Whoa, really?
And I was
I would
like,
have kissed him for that.
I let him take a picture with us and Alexi Pappas.
Oh, okay.
So he's in one of those pictures.
Nice.
But he's like, it was calming to me. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
There's nothing calming about this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe he's a serial killer.
Possibly. I've got a picture of him. You can see.
Yeah.
He then also told me he's going to Kafuzi's Shakeout Run in Chicago.
Oh, he's
I was
definitely.
like, well, all right, you can't listen to the podcast
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, I would have banned him for life.
Yeah, you're done.
Count of that. Yeah, that's cool. That's amazing that someone's listening to this podcast during a marathon.
Nuts.
What are you?
Someone also told me they listened to it while they were gardening.
I like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, because we belong in the dirt. Yeah.
Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt.
Yeah, so the Shakeout Run itself was led by Philip Flieger, who is an Adidas marathoner.
Great name, by the way.
I know. He's just such a nice guy.
He's
I
so
actually
lovely.
ran into him on the marathon course. But his all-time personal best was 2:12.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Like that's actual running.
Yeah.
That's somebody who knows how to run.
Right.
So he was there and led the run. We ended up going to a beautiful out and back sort of, kind of like a loop.
Through a park. Yeah.
And it was gorgeous.
It was really nice.
Yeah, I loved it.
It kind of reminded me of Boston.
Yeah, similar.
It had that vibe.
Especially the bike lanes where you think you're going to die on the way
Oh,
there.
yeah.
How many poles did we have to miss?
I'm surprised nobody got injured in the first mile.
I'm
half
surprised.
mile.
The actually only thing I almost hit was the guy Mo from the running channel was kneeling down taking photos with like a telephoto lens.
Yeah, it's
And I didn't see him until like I was right on top of him. I almost crushed him.
probably not a good idea to do that in the middle of a group run.
Look out, Mo.
Yeah.
All right, first check-in. Man, all your work gets done and nobody pays attention. But when it comes to the marathon, that's when people care. They're going to check your times. I don't think anybody cares, to be honest with you. So just have fun. Try to get that best. Realize it's one day out of all the days that you run, all that work you put in. It's just one day. Enjoy it.
All right, guys, let's talk about one of our sponsors, CHERIBUNDI. They have a really exciting new product.
Okay.
What could be more exciting than cherry juice?
Gummies.
Oh, I do like gummies.
Yeah. What kind of gummies are we talking about?
Okay, so they're launching with Pure, which is just like the drink version, but in gummy form.
Okay.
So it's just the tart cherry gummies. And basically, there's 12 and a half tart cherries per gummy. So you're getting the same benefits as the juice.
And what's that do? It's like anti-inflammatory.
Yeah,
what are
reduces
the other-
inflammation, you sleep better, you recover faster. There's a bunch of good science behind it. And it's also NSF for sports certified, so they've gotten all the
I
credentials.
thought you were going to say NSFW. I was like, man, I don't know if we should be talking
A matter of
about
fact, Robbie, it is safe for work.
They're selling them now in 60 count tubs, which you can get at cheribundi.com or on Amazon. But if you go to cheribundi.com and use the code THEDROP, you can save 20%.
All right, cool.
But yeah, so we got back and there was a full spread.
We had soft pretzels,
Delicious.
bunch of fruit, coffee, waters. Oh, and Morton bars.
Yeah.
How many, like,
Dude, if you grabbed enough Morton bars, you were rich.
yeah, I grabbed a few. And there was a staggering amount of soft pretzels.
Yeah, a
Dude,
lot.
those pretzels, I'm still thinking about them though, because they cut them in half.
They cut
and
them
put butter
only
on.
on one side. They cut one side and then put butter inside.
Wait a second. What do you mean on one side?
Like one side was just the normal pretzel, and then the thicker side was
I didn't
cut
know
with
that.
the.
I thought they
It
just
wasn't
cut
fully
it
cut in half.
Oh,
No,
it wasn't.
No.
Yeah, that was a cool thing. I didn't even know you could butter salt pretzels on the inside.
How
but
many pretzels did you eat?
I think I only had 2.
Yeah, same.
Really?
I was, like,
I had
talking
like
a lot.
6.
Really?
Yeah.
Oink, oink.
I know, dude. I was like, these are
Carb
the
loading.
best.
I know, but seems. I mean, honestly, we each should have had like 20 because there was so many left over.
Yeah.
I felt
Was there
bad.
leftovers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, we had around 300 people there, is my guess on the numbers. And we were at the Adidas Sports Space.
Which is so cool. Do
Yeah.
you know that it's all you have to do is download the
App and you have access?
yeah. It's
like a
free.
full
You just
gym.
have to sign up for classes.
Showers.
It's all offered to
It is pretty wild.
That's
How
so cool.
Why can't we have that in the U.S.?
yeah. I
Because
don't
we
know.
can't have nice things.
Yeah, we
One-
can't.
Yeah, that is true.
We can't, if we had a free gym like that, it'd be overrun and people would be like leaving stuff out and like it'd be a garbage heap. by
Meanwhile,
now.
it was like a really nice, well kept place and it was lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have events like ours. And the t-shirt I thought came out really nice.
Yeah, it was
Wearing
cool.
it.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. Believe Berlin.
Dude, that thing is thick cotton.
It's also quite large. It's oversized.
That's a look these days
Yeah.
for the kids.
Yeah. We're trying to be cool.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little too oversized at times. I got some small shirts there, like at the Adidas store, and I'm like, it goes down to my knees almost.
Well, I think you can cut them.
That's not the intent.
Yeah, you can cut anything.
Yeah.
I could cut it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't
I
want
don't
to?
think it's meant. It doesn't have like the dotted lines to say cut here on it, but I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll shrink at the wash to some degree, but
So after the shakeout, did we go?
Straight to the expo.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And this is where things got weird. So Megan wanted the group shot so she could immediately post it to social media. And I had it on. So I bought a camera when we went to Paris. So we have a full size Sony Alpha 7, A7 that we use for like our pretty pictures, like when we take pictures of shoes and stuff like that. But when it comes to going to Paris, I bought like a little like point and shoot camera that's RX 700 Mark 6 or whatever, and I love it. It takes great little photos. You don't have to worry about the lens, everything like that. I transfer the photo. I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't realize till we got back to our hotel. As a matter of fact,
like you transferred it to your phone because it has blue. Like,
yeah, you can
Yeah.
Bluetooth
drop it. Okay.
Yeah, I left the camera in the cab in the Uber.
Dude, in the back seat.
But he doesn't realize this. So we go to the expo.
Oh,
And we have a great time. We get to the expo.
The lines were a little crazy. I'm not going to lie.
I kind of liked it. It was exciting.
Some of it was
being
exciting.
in a cattle corral is super fun with thousands of smelly people.
Why? Where is it so smelly?
Because I put this in the future Berlin Marathon report guide. Because I feel Americans have that chemical deodorants that like actually work or whatever, and I don't think
You think they just throw powder on them?
other nationalities are so concerned with body odor. And I also read that they also don't shower like every day like Americans do. It's just not culturally what they do, and so
Do you like showering?
things kind of add up.
I really enjoy
The shower at our hotel was one of the best showers
Yeah.
I've ever had.
it. It not only had
Actually true.
good pressure, but they had a giant head on that thing. So it was like you were getting 3 feet of straight
Well, rarely
downfall.
do you get the rainfall that is
Pressure.
with
Oh,
good
yeah.
pressure.
It's just it was like Fern Gully in there.
Did you ever accidentally hit the wrong switch and then all of a sudden that thing shot you in the chest?
No, but the cleaner, what do you call them? Maids, housekeepers.
Yeah, housekeeping.
They
Servants, Robbie,
yeah.
servants.
Turn down people. Turn down for what? I could tell you they turned up for what, the shower, because they I'm pretty sure they do this to prank people. They will switch it to the handheld thing and then point it right where your face will be and then put it to hold it cold.
And that happened to you?
Yeah, and the worst part was that it was the second night we were there, and I couldn't like fall asleep or whatever because I had like 3 cups of coffee and a Coke earlier that day, and I was like, well, whatever, I'll just like take a shower, and it's like 2 a.m, and I go in.
Have you ever wanted to take a shower at 2 a.m?
No, dude, never.
Well, what else was I gonna do? I was trying to relax.
How filthy was your room that they were like, let's cold water shower this dude?
So I
Carl, what do you do at 2 a.m. to go back to sleep?
I slammed. Yeah, we don't need Carl's opinion. This is why Carl's not on the podcast. And so I slammed the on thing, and it was literally full force,
right in your face,
pointed right at my face, and hit me directly in between the eyes.
That'll
And now
get
you're
you
like,
to fall
now I'll
asleep.
sleep.
Yeah, I was so angry. And then here's the thing: is that the next day, like that they clean, the same
did it
thing
again.
happened, and I didn't like learn my lesson.
Do you think they like have a little camera in your bathroom? Like, got him.
They have to? I don't even care if they do.
All right. So I accidentally did it to myself. And the reason the water was cold is because nobody uses that handheld thing, at least not while we were there. Did we use a handheld thing?
I didn't.
So for what we're talking about, there's a shower
You know how
head
it
at the
is.
ceiling, and then there's like a handheld thing on the
Yeah.
wall. And I did like 2 times. I went to shut off the shower when I was done.
Yeah.
And instead of shutting off the shower, I was turning on the handheld thing. And both times it hit me right in the chest with icy water. And I'm like, damn, now I got to stay in here another 5 minutes
Yeah.
and warm up.
Not the worst thing.
No, that shower was good. And I do love showering. I'm not giving that up. So
Oh no, and that's the thing. I don't get why people just in other countries be like, actually, you know what? I don't shower as much as I used to. I feel like I've given that up. I don't know.
see, I think that's another benefit of running. It's like there's no
you have
option.
to.
You have to shower after.
Okay.
I forget who we were dealing with.
Yeah.
The
anyway.
deodorant covers a multitude of sins and like sweat sins.
Yeah.
And so American deodorant has all the chemicals and stuff, whereas the European is more natural.
Like they rub a bush on them.
And so I could tell you when we were just going into race morning in the corrals, dude, it smelled like after the race, before the race.
Dude,
Then after the race,
Yeah.
when we were in line for the ponchos, I almost just left because it was
lost
hard.
it. I had trouble. I mean, we'll get to race day because we're still at the expo, but I'll just put a pin in that. I'll come back to it.
Pin.
All right.
So other than the lines, the expo was pretty efficient.
Dude, and it was a
We
pretty
got our
good
bibs.
expo.
You think it was efficient? I don't think it was efficient.
I said outside of the lines, which kind of doesn't make any sense.
Oh, okay. Well, the crazy thing was they put a bracelet on your wrist that's like mechanically sealed by a machine,
So that they know that you're who you're supposed to
So
be.
you can't switch the bib.
Yeah.
which was kind of cool. But it
you
depending-
can't bib mule at
No.
in Berlin.
Yeah, so they
on
would
which
check
thing
anytime
got.
you went into like the athletes village race morning, they would check to make sure you not only have a bib, but also this thing on your wrist. So there was no evading it.
All right, sorry. And then into the expo, you're right. It was once you got in there.
It was
fine.
No, it was a madhouse. It was crazy. Like grabbing Adidas apparel.
The Adidas apparel section was
Right.
pretty wild.
Yeah, luckily, we had an insider that could help us out, so that we didn't have to wait in that corral.
The actual bib situation was great, kind of. You didn't have to go to a number or anything. You just go to
anywhere, and they print
because they
it out.
print it right there
on a printer, which as we'll come back to that later.
Why?
because they disintegrated.
Mine was fine. Anyway, we go to the expo, and what was kind of cool is like lately, I feel expos aren't kind of as big as they used to be. This one was a full size. Like it had all the brands there. It had, several choices for like that cheap nutrition stuff, like the goo stuff, but it also had like Morton there. Obviously, there were some things that weren't available in the U.S., some certain brands and stuff like that. There was a stronger showing of Chinese shoes and stuff like that.
And 361 had like a full whole section.
And so did, I think, Anta or Li Ning. I'm not sure which one it was.
Yeah, and even some other brands that I don't even know if I'd heard of that had shoes.
The one that's Decathlon.
Yeah,
shoe.
yeah.
What was the name of their shoe brand?
I forget.
It's like has something to do with triathlon.
Yeah, but because some expos the title
Kip Run.
Yeah, Kip Run. The title sponsor is like no competition allowed, which kind of sucks. But it was nice because like you said, every shoe brand was there, and not only that, but a lot of times at the expos they'll have shoes that you can't get online, or like Super Blast 2 they had selling there. They had they were selling the Evo SL, right? I'm pretty sure.
Were they?
I never got. You went over by the shoes. I didn't.
Maybe not,
because
maybe
Robbie
not.
got himself a pair of Boston or Berlin Sambas.
Yeah. It's sad. I don't want to talk about it.
And do you have a full tracksuit?
I don't think. Carl and I have matching full tracksuits. I don't think Robbie knows what size his foot is.
It might be true. Anyways, continue.
They also had some NA beers there.
Yeah.
If anyone wanted them.
Nah.
I told Carl they were alcoholic. He was pissed when he went up to pay and found out they weren't. My bad,
man.
dude. I thought they had
It's
both.
tragic.
Anyways, and then
Well, that's a good point. Like, okay, so we all went into this differently. For this particular time, in the past 10 days before the marathon, I had one beer and one glass of wine.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, look at you.
I know.
What? The 10 days before?
Wait,
Yeah.
wasn't
That's
your brother
absolutely incorrect.
The 7 days before.
No, maybe
the
like
4
5
days.
or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 5 days before.
I think that's a stretch. I think it was 4.
Okay, the 4 days before.
Yeah.
No, I think it was longer than that.
All right.
One day.
I
Your
didn't-
brother was there till
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And we had quite a time.
Was that the weekend before?
Yes.
So like 5 days.
Okay.
5 days.
Okay.
After her brother left, I just didn't. But I felt like you were having a good time. Megan, were you drinking at all? Yeah, you were having like a
we
glass
had
of
some
wine or
wine.
something
Yeah.
like
I
that.
mean, I never had more than maybe 2 drinks.
Yeah, same.
Carl though, man, Carl was getting a full nightlife.
Carl likes to go out and experience what the people are doing.
Dude, he's got something special because I couldn't do what he did. Like, I'm not going out solo to bars and just chilling and hanging out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that.
He's a special breed.
He's like the what's this?
Anthony Bourdain?
No, I was gonna say what's the song from like isn't that Little Mermaid? I want to be where the people are.
Oh, yeah, that is.
That's like Carl's like
I haven't-
life motto.
Oh, let's start calling Carl Mermaid.
Yeah, Ariel.
Merman.
Cariel.
Cariel. That's good. I like it.
Moisture is the essence of water.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, we all got our bibs. Expo was great. And the next day.
So getting a different cab. Oh, wait, did I lose the camera in the cab on the way home?
No, it was on the way to the expo
Okay.
because I got the Uber on the way home, but that didn't matter.
Okay.
So we get back. Did you realize that he realized that evening that he had lost his camera?
Yeah. I went to
Oh,
look
so
for
it
it to
was like-
download the page. So it's hours later.
Hours later?
Yeah, hours. And I'm like, it's gone. I just purchased this. I purchased it when we went to Paris. So it was less than 3 months old. But I've fallen in love with this little camera. I think it does an amazing job for having something that you can throw in your pocket.
Yeah.
So Megan had gotten that Uber for us, Megan Featherston, and so she had to contact the guy, and he never responded to any of her messages. But what happens is Uber says if your driver doesn't respond to you in 24 hours, they will intervene, and they will get in touch with him.
And guess what?
So
He still had
24
my
hours
camera.
went by. Uber reached out. They said he still has the camera.
That's insane. I would have stolen that.
Thomas had to
Dude,
get
I would have
the
already sold this on eBay.
the concierge at the hotel to speak to him in German to coordinate him dropping it off at the hotel.
So what was crazy about that is in our hotel, nobody spoke German.
It was very
They had to
weird.
find-
no one in
someone.
Germany spoke German.
They had to find
It is really weird.
find the guy. Like one of the pictures is an example of like the nice shots. That picture of you with your raccoon hat on, taking a photo with somebody at the shakeout run.
Yeah.
That was his camera.
Oh yeah.
The
That's
Robbie
nice.
raccoon shot. So I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I might get this camera back.
Yeah.
They said, well, he's going to drop it up at 1:30 a.m. after a shift. Obviously, it's the night before the marathon. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I'll see it, maybe I won't. Left a tip for him up at the counter.
That's nice.
Said, hey, please, if hand him this note and the thing. I said, thanks for bringing it back. And I got up that morning to get on the bus, and there it was at the front desk.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Man.
Crazy.
It's so
got him back.
I've got my wallet back in Japan. You got your in a casino nonetheless. You got your
Well, this is the second time
Camera
I've
back.
lost the camera.
oh.
Remember I
So
left it
you're actually
out?
beating me now.
I've left this out on the docks and in Baltimore.
For 24
Right.
hours.
Luckily, nobody really goes back there too much.
Well,
Speaking of losing things, we forgot to mention that going through airport security.
Oh, jeez.
yeah, this is the best. Robbie, man, you at this point I would have just given it up and just bought a new one.
Sunk cost, man. I can't. Yeah, as soon as hadn't even gone through the scanner yet. And I'm like reaching to put stuff on the belt, and I'm like, dude, I have my Leatherman on me again. The same one 2 months ago that I had in my backpack, and I had to pay $25 to get shipped back to myself. I just got it back like a month ago.
So did you originally pay for the Leatherman that you have?
Yeah,
It wasn't a gift or anything.
it's like one of those things where it's a Christmas gift, but
You picked it
I
up
paid
yourself.
for it.
All right. All right. So how much was the original cost? Of this tool?
$120.
Okay. And how much did it cost you to get it shipped back?
At this point, you got to pay it every time because if I want another one, I'm gonna have to pay $120. So you just got to keep pay the troll toll.
Or
Well,
you
no.
just don't bring it to the airport.
I know.
Right now, how much is it worth if you consider all the shipping that you've done for it?
$200.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting up in the iPhone range, but whatever. So, anyways, yeah, from now on, whatever. I'm probably gonna do it again, but I'm gonna put a checklist on my phone that says, "Don't bring these things. Essentials to bring, very, very much essentials to bring, and don't bring." And
I forgot.
check that every time.
After we went to the expo,
Yeah,
I'm glad you got your Leatherman back, by the way. But after we
I
went,
didn't yet, but
It's still in the mail.
after we went to the expo, we decided to go for another shakeout run. Remember, we ran to go see the Brandenburg Gate.
That was the next day.
yeah, that's
That
fine.
was the next
Carry
day?
on.
Yeah. We had a.
Oh, I thought
the day
after
before.
the expo we went to
No, that
and
was
did the
Friday.
marathon.
No, but anyway, the day
okay.
before the marathon, we kind of had a free day to do what we wanted, and so we did our own little shakeout run, which happened to run into the 5K that was happening, and we ran into a bunch of people.
Which is crazy. Like, here we are in Germany,
Yeah.
thousands of people. And apparently the Berlin Marathon had the record number of finishers. It was like 54,385 or something like that.
Yeah.
But we're going down the street, and Cameron, who's Cam Skate Run on Instagram, who's been to like almost every shakeout that we've ever done, and is a real nice guy. And we bump into him.
Yeah.
We also bumped into Mike Coe
Yeah,
out there,
Kafuzi.
like just crazy.
Yeah.
Of all the people.
Well, the cool thing, by the way,
We bumped into Robbie and Carl.
yeah,
Well, we strategically found them.
we line biked our way down there, which was both fun and terrifying.
Yeah, Aubrey loved that thing.
Yeah, but like the German system of things is, it's like there's a bike lane, and then maybe there's a bike lane on the sidewalk, and then you go back to the street, and then you're in the bus lane, but also cars are passing you very close. It's almost as crazy as Baltimore, and then so we got there. By the way, if you're going to the Berlin Marathon, I think some people, including myself, thought that you couldn't get near the Brandenburg Gate because it's like the course goes through it, but the course only goes to the left side. So if you want to do photo ops or anything like that the day before, or check out, what it is like from the gate to the finish, you can go there, and it's very, very nice. You can walk around. The streets are closed.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, it was close for the 5K and the kids run. It was. I thought it was. The
Kids run was rad.
The kids run was so cool.
Never seen that many kids.
It's a 5K too, by the way. This
Oh,
isn't
it
a
is?
100-meter. Yeah, because they were following the same course.
They were doing
I
that.
thought it
loop
was a
out.
mile.
No,
I'm pretty sure. It was the same exact course.
I thought because we ran on that street on the way in.
Let me just check to make sure.
It was at least a mile from where we started.
There were thousands of kids out there.
I'd never seen so many kids, and this is the thing I liked about it the most. There was no adults. They had a couple guides on the course,
some pacers.
but other than that, this was a kids run, like just kids.
Yeah, I mean,
And they were moving.
Yeah,
like thousands.
Yeah.
So let me see here. There's pupils from a school.
I wonder how many kids there were.
It says the mini marathon, which is
They said it was-
okay, so it's 4.2K, but still
Oh yeah,
not too much
solid.
less.
That's over 2 miles.
Yeah. And so we were hanging out on the course or whatever, and man, kids love to give high fives, and they were like, it's super fun just cheering them on because they're way into it.
Dude, it looked like, do you remember in Ratatouille when the lady gets the house closed down and all the rats leave and you're like, I can't believe there's so many in there? Yeah. That's, these kids
Kinda
were
like
like
my back alley.
And they also, like an adult usually runs like in a straight line. Mm-hmm. These kids were like running down the street and weaving and because one kid weaves, then the kid behind him had to weave. So it was like this undulating wave of children coming at you.
Yeah, they were pretty awesome. It was cool.
Camille Herron turned one of them in though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went to his Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Changed his finish
A lot
time.
of editing going on. But that was cool. And I got a soft pretzel from one of the bikes there, which was probably overpriced, as I would find out, but just for the novelty of it.
Well, we ran to
an Aldi.
Aldi in a mall. There was like this great Berlin mall.
Let's call it a Maldi.
And actually, it was a beautiful mall. Like I know malls have kind of gone out of style here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. If our malls were like this, I'd probably still go to them because it was clean. The stores were high quality. Like it had like,
There's no one
Chanel.
no one
like,
looting them.
Yeah. But it had an Aldi in it. And again, I bought, how many pretzels did you get? 2?
Yeah.
I did 3. And they were the big,
Like
really large
like
size
steering
ones.
wheel soft
Yeah.
pretzels.
And I think they were $1 each or something
No,
like
they
that.
were like 39 cents.
39 cents.
That's wild.
They were delicious.
Yeah, we got a bunch of those. We ate those, and then we ran back. Like I was eating pretzels as I was running. It was the best.
Yeah, that's hard to beat, really.
Yeah.
It really is. That's the one thing I want the pretzels here as readily available as they are in Germany.
Why can't we just embrace soft pretzels? Again, this seems like a very obvious solution, an easy thing, delicious, many different flavors. You can expand beyond. Why does Annie Ann's have a chokehold on the soft pretzel market? I don't understand.
But not only that, their pretzels, like when we were at the airport, they had pretzel sandwiches. So like, it's just the big Bavarian pretzel.
Yeah.
They cut it in half and had like different toppings on it.
Yeah.
And they love putting butter on their pretzels.
That's fine too. I'm on board with it. Whatever they're doing over there, they got it figured out. You know what? I realized after I came home, like I didn't really eat terribly. It's just kind of like they have food. It's enough food. You know what? I want to pay for meals here the same price, just enough food, not a ton of food. Do you know what I mean?
So you're saying you can't control yourself to not eat the whole serving?
Yeah.
I get it.
And so just give me, like when they served a Belgian waffle there, they didn't take up the whole Belgian waffle maker. It was like the middle of it. And it was great.
But also there
was no
That
syrup.
waffle was delicious.
And there was no
wasn't it?
syrup
was
or
good.
butter with it. It was amazing.
Well, there's whipped cream
And berries.
and then there was some sort of crystallized sugar, and then
it was good.
Yeah, it was like crunched in your mouth. It was delicious. But there was also a chocolate Nutella one. And I'm guessing that one was pretty
Whatever.
dense.
But I'm just saying it was, the soft pretzels. Let's start doing that a little bit more.
Okay, here's my question, babe. They say that the pretzels makeup is similar to that of a bagel.
I was just it's funny. I just was looking up a recipe.
Okay,
true or false?
How do they get the brown? Like, how's the skin on it? Because I've seen people make homemade ones, and they're always like pale. Like, how do you get that nice golden brown?
That's just the temperature in the oven. I'm cooking it.
So do we need to do it in our pizza oven?
No, you can do it. It looks like 400 degrees work.
They have a nice little, like the outer crust on those was good too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't like hard.
Mm-hmm. It was like paper thin, just nice. This is now Cooking with Believe in the Run.
Yeah, fantasizing.
I'll make some this weekend.
Food
We'll see how it works
fantasy.
out.
If you make those, I would be very happy.
I'll do it this weekend.
All right.
All right. I know I'm not getting any, but
I'll bring one
I'll
over to you.
imagine what it would be like.
I'll bring one to you.
Or why don't we test them? We eat all of them. And then if they're good, you make some for the next podcast.
Okay, I'll make them for Tuesday.
And update, we're getting closer and closer to getting our butts back into the office
Yeah.
and recording from there, which I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I miss somewhat of the, everybody being in one spot that we can just be like, let's shoot this, let's do that, let's make a recording and then get work
Yeah,
done at the
I
same
feel like
time.
a Creed album at home in my own prison because I'm always like in my living room.
So is Creed cool again?
What do you mean again?
Okay. I felt like Creed and Nickelback were.
I always thought Creed was a little more elevated than Nickelback. I mean, Scott Stapp kind
So-
of just exudes a more masculine energy. I
Creed
think.
was the thinking man's Nickelback.
I mean, probably wouldn't go that far, but I think it was because I was actually a Creed fan.
Did you watch the Hate to Love, the documentary?
No, but I do like Candlebox.
I heard Scott Stapp on Theo Vaughn's podcast, and he was genuinely like a really good dude.
That sounds
Like
cool.
it was actually pretty.
You
cool.
listen to Theo Vaughn a lot, don't you?
Not a lot, but sometimes.
I tried because you recommended him or something or mentioned him in your email or
Yeah.
something. So I tried to listen to the interview. I couldn't get through it.
Oh, really? Which one? The one with Post Malone? That one was great.
Might have been. And you know what? I know that people had a negative reaction to Post Malone's country album, but when I was in Germany, I saw a video and heard the song.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really like it. And not only that, his dancing, I think I'm a better dancer than him.
Yeah, I mean, possibly.
I think so.
Which song? The Morgan Wallen one or a different one?
It was just him solo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's great. Anyways, wow.
Yeah,
Uh,
let's
can
get
we
to
just
race
to the
day.
marathon?
Let's
Yeah,
get to race
all right.
day.
All right. So race morning, I
Hold
get
up.
up.
Before, did you get good sleep the night before?
I did.
Okay.
You did too.
Okay.
What did you do?
Well, I took a Unisom, which is, was that just a sleeping
Sleep
pill?
aid, yeah.
Is that like what, is that considered a roofie? Did I get roofied?
it's over the counter. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean, do you remember what happened to you that night?
Yeah, actually, because I think I almost overrode the sleep aid by like I was thinking my adrenaline was going and stuff. And I was like, if I override a sleeping pill, I'm gonna be so angry. And then you start getting a little bit more angry. So
And then you fell
luckily,
asleep.
So then you jump in the shower and shoot yourself in the face.
yeah, dude, almost. So I got like 5.5 hours of sleep, probably. Not terrible.
I think I slept really well that night. I don't recall.
Yeah, you definitely did. I slept okay.
Nice.
Second check-in. All right. What I learned this weekend was if you prepare properly, chances are you're going to have a decent day. You hydrate, you take your nutrition, use those porta potties, you're going to be okay. And hopefully you have a great race.
All right, and it's time to talk about another sponsor, which has been a sponsor pretty much all year long.
You know,
Element.
All year long.
I got to tell you, this drink mix, personal testimony right here, it changed my life for the past year, but also the Berlin Marathon. I this time around, I took a handheld with a element in it during race, sipped on it.
During the race you had
Sipped
it.
on it for 20 miles. Felt great the entire time. I took one the night before and the morning of. And man,
Okay, question
no
now.
headaches, no nothing. Just felt awesome.
So in the past,
That's it.
though, like when you were running Boston or something, and we were running in a hot one, did you have Element during that one?
I didn't.
And you think this is the difference?
I think it was a big difference because when I take drink mixes on course, I always get super nauseous and everything like that. This way I could just get the electrolytes and the sodium that I needed.
So if you guys want to get some, you can go to element.com/thedrop and get a sample pack, which includes 8 of their drink mix flavors.
What's your favorite, Robbie?
Raspberry salt, probably.
Watermelon salt.
Watermelon here. Yeah.
All right, go get yours. There was a lot of noises in our room. We unfortunately got the room that was right on the major street. So anytime a train or ambulance went by, we heard it.
There was like a subway that's on street level. I don't know what you call those.
I think it's just a trolley
train.
or train.
Yeah. Okay. And every time it went over the tracks, it went ka-kunk, 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 ka-kunk. And that happened about every 15 to 20 minutes. Like the first night, I thought somebody was on the floor above us stomping.
I would have requested a room change.
And then when you hear, I said to Megan the first night, I said, should we request a room change? She's like, no, I got my
We
stuff
had like
here."
already put our stuff everywhere. It would have been a whole thing.
And then the sirens. You would get
Yeah.
a siren in the middle of the night. But anyway,
Which, the sirens in Europe, I'm always like, okay, where's the car chase? Because
Born Identity.
You expect
Yeah.
Liam Neeson or,
they're
Jason
also
Bourne.
like
Jason Bourne.
1,000 decibels louder than a normal
Yeah, they
like
are.
ambulance.
They also sound like you need your passport when they come by. Like,
Yeah.
you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But we woke up And I had planned the night before, so I had one of those waffles waiting for me at 7 a.m. Megan, you got up.
So I left early with Megan because what we did is we took advantage of the on-course personal hydration stations where anyone who runs the Berlin Marathon is allowed to put their own bottles out on the course. It's a very unique thing, only in Berlin.
Bottle service.
And so we decorated these bottles, crazy bottles, the day before, and then you have to go and put them in a truck between 7 and 7:45 in the morning. So we actually had to leave earlier than anyone else so that we could go place our bottles into this truck. And so we met up with Ben Johnson because he had taken the U-Bahn, the train, to the start last year. And so he knew what to do. And his hotel was right next to ours. So we walked to his hotel, met up with him, and then just took the train straight to the start line where we dropped our bottles and went to the Adidas VIP tent.
All right. And all three of us wore the Adios Pro 4.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh wait, no, she wore the Evo.
I wore the Evo one.
You mean Carl? You mean Carl and me? You.
I'll now, to save face, say, you, me, and Carl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought Megan.
I knew
but
what you meant.
Megan wore the Evo one because she's special.
And then so we got to the start and again, like for breakfast, I had Pop-Tarts, 2 Pop-Tarts or whatever, and then Nature Valley breakfast bar. And
you didn't do the room service?
And I got the room service, and then what
did you get from room service?
The waffle and yogurt.
Yeah.
And so, but then I was like, when you're like have that nervous energy, I'm like halfway through eating, I'm just like, I'm gonna throw up, so I'm just done. Like I couldn't even eat anymore because I'm just like, I'm sick. Like I'm just sick of. I just felt sick, and so I was done with that. And then we got to the start line. It
was awesome. So we were supposed to have like a small bus that Adidas was going to provide for us to get to the start.
Yeah.
We ended up having a full size like tour bus all to ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I felt like I should have used the bathroom in it just because.
Oh, that would have been smart.
Yeah.
'Cause
I didn't.
We got there and Adidas set up like what would you call that?
A tent and a building?
There was a building.
No, there's
yeah.
there's a building that they rented out, that they, I don't know.
Like
Yeah.
a headquarters at the race, which was incredible. Like
It was by the Reichstag,
yeah.
the government building.
Anyway, it was right near the athletes' village there. Everyone else was.
Yeah. And that was pretty sweet. It had everything you needed, like juice, coffee, water.
How many times did you go to the bathroom when you were there?
I went twice, but I did 2 different things.
Yeah.
I thought I just had to pee. So I just did that. And then
I did the opposite.
the other one, I was like, I think it was one of those situations where like, I can't risk
Yeah.
this not
I got
being-
you.
Yeah. So I went into the restroom and I have to say, I almost like the smell of just lines up of people, like, cause it was a
small restroom.
small restroom and it was a line of people. There was 2 lines and the long one was for the deuce.
Yeah.
And so like,
Just dump after dump.
yeah, it was like if it was a factory to make dumps, this would have been how they do it.
And then they have porta potties outside that you could use, and they didn't even have seats on them.
Yeah. And people were missing.
You use it?
I did, but I would never sit down on
I don't know.
I got to see how women go to the bathroom because like they say they don't sit.
Yeah, you have like an anti-gravity device that you just hover, like a
Or
hoverboard.
do you squat?
You squat.
You stand up next to it and squat down?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's what they do. I think they hang upside down.
Anyway, so Megan and I left to go walk to our corral early, and Robbie looked at me like we were crazy because it was an hour before the start time, and it took us 45 minutes to get to our corral.
I realized later you were very smart about
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a hike.
You have to walk.
because we left exactly 30 minutes before our start time.
And you probably barely made it.
We were right on time.
It's a mix.
Kind of.
It's a mix
Yeah.
of
We had to
very.
wait.
I mean, we were, but it was hell getting there.
I didn't think it was that bad. And you peed in the woods again.
Like, yeah. Good. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say it's organized chaos. Like you're shuffled into the correct direction, but there's just so many people and. Yeah, the bathroom, I was told the bathroom line was going to be terrible in the starting corrals and that everyone just pees in the woods, which is what was happening when we walked
so
up.
disgusting. Come on.
What was disgusting?
No, the
I thought peeing in the woods was better than the dude urinals that were on the sidewalk we were walking on.
that was the thing. I didn't see those.
Oh yeah, they were right by
There was dude
oh,
urinals?
Oh, we A and B had their own entrance.
Okay. First off, I felt like it was disorganized chaos because we got, and I think it was crazier when we went. So we got there, and then there was like barriers, and people were just climbing them. Like it looked like World
Yeah.
War Z, and that's
Yeah,
like,
everyone was climbing fences and barriers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? What are these here for? What's the point?
I don't know. I thought it was fun.
It's like some parkour before the race.
Yeah, and then again,
We ran into Rizzo.
not a rat, a real person. But again, you're all crammed in there. It's smelling like stuff. Everyone's peeing, and I think some people were pooping in the woods too.
Oh, probs.
And then there's just trash everywhere and throwaways. It's just kind of gross.
I think it maybe wasn't as bad up in the
Dude, I had
A
a
B
gr-
corrals where we were because it doesn't sound quite as
I had a good time. I
chaotic.
thought it was fine.
But we did walk up to the start corral and have to jump over a fence to get into where we needed to go.
We did too.
Yeah. So we have Aubrey with us at this point. So it's Carl, Robbie, Aubrey, and myself. Aubrey and I are going to run together.
Sorry.
I guess, did you and Carl start off together?
No, I think I lost. I met someone in the crowd that knew us, and he was like trying to run a similar time. So I was gonna run with him, and then as we're both about to start, he's like, "I gotta go to the bathroom." I'm like, "Dude, I'm gonna go one more time too." So we just ran off to the side. That was the nice thing is the fences on the sides of the corrals are along the woods, so you can just pull off, and if you're a dude, just go to the bathroom again one last time. But because of that, we were the last people in the entire corral to go. Like there was the way behind us. Coming,
that's right.
Coming like a marching army with the like
The barrier?
Yeah,
Like it's going to push you out?
Like it looked like almost like the quarter machines when they like try to knock the quarters off the edge.
Roman
I'm really good at that.
The Roman army with their shields.
Yeah.
They would just push you back.
But I felt like it was gonna like move me, and so I'm like trying to pee as fast as possible to get in front of him. But I was the last person, and the guy who I was gonna run with, his like watch wasn't working, so I was gone.
I have to say it's one of the most beautiful starts because
It is nice.
it's like you don't have to wait to see a landmark. You're within a quarter mile, you're running around whatever that statue
What's
was.
that thing called?
I don't recall. Wait, did you guys get the hand clapping in the beginning?
No.
Oh yeah, they didn't do that in our corral either.
I think I heard it maybe.
I guess it started after
I
D.
didn't get the flame throwing things either.
Oh, we got the fire in the beginning.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
That was
It's
cool.
it's called the Sigisal. It's the bronze sculpture of the goddess of victory.
That sounds
I
right.
thought that was Nike.
I mean, maybe I don't know if German lore is different.
Okay. So you run by that immediately, which gets you pumped up. Your adrenaline's going, you're going. This is a tough course not to go out fast on, I would say.
What? This is a tough course to run fast on because there's so many people.
Yeah, but if you're trying to go slow and the wave of people is pulling you faster,
We just had a totally different experience. We were passing people the entire time.
I could see but yeah, in that case, yes.
I felt like you're getting hit.
you were also
with-
running slow.
Yeah.
Running with Aubrey, you guys were running 10 minutes.
We were trying to, so I was pacing Aubrey. His goal was to run a 4:30 marathon. So we were trying to go out. He kept talking KMs and I don't know my KMs.
6:30s, I think, were 10-minute miles.
So we're trying to go out and keep it slow. But what I'm saying is just the adrenaline of seeing the statue, seeing like the people where everybody's pumped up, everybody's ready to go. It was for me, adrenaline and excitement made it more difficult to like temper the pace.
I get that.
And we went out maybe a little bit fast, but nothing dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I know what you mean. I mean, in any race, I feel like you feel almost impossibly good for the first mile. And
If you feel bad in the first mile, it's going to be a long day.
and you really do have to rein it in. Just be like, okay, it feels like I'm running super, super slow, but that's okay.
Well, with Aubrey pacing him, I'm like, hey, this is going to be a long day. You're not going to win any time pushing the pace now. And it was hard because even as we moved into the marathon, like he was like, I feel pretty good. I think we can pick it up. I was like, we're going to stick to the plan.
Yeah.
You're not going to outrun your training. Like I think that's the thing that you get a perfect day like Berlin where it's cool temperatures, clear skies, vibe is great. all of a sudden you go, yeah, I know I was training to do, a 740 pace, but 730s feel good. I think I got this.
Yeah, you'll trick yourself every time.
And that's why I think you hear people on perfect days, they'll be like, it was a perfect day. I don't know what happened. You're like, yeah, I know what happened. And the reverse happens too. Somebody will be actually like stick to their plan and run well.
Yeah. I felt like, but I did feel that in the beginning, I was like, man, I could run so much faster right now. I didn't. I was like, just going by my watch and being like, okay, a little over 8 minutes. That's the plan. Just start out slow. And, but yeah, the crowds, major marathon, you're thinking first 6 miles, no worries. I'll just do my thing. And the pace wasn't bad. It wasn't like I was dodging. It wasn't like Boston where you were really packed in and dodging people for 10-minute milers for the first 5 miles. It was like, the pace wasn't that far off. There's just some people who are slower that you have to pass around. But man, it just never ended. The people.
Well, it had a record number of finishers.
Yeah, they added 10,000 people this year to get to the 50,000 mark for the 50th anniversary.
That's what Megan and I kept saying, because I asked her, because she ran it the year before. I was like, when does it break up?
Right.
And she was like, I think like around 5 or 6. And we got to 5 or 6. And I was like, it hasn't broken up at all. And the craziest part is, if you run even splits, you will pass people the entire time.
I could not believe at mile 22, 23, 25, you're still you are still working your way around people.
See, and I kind of loved it because I'm used to getting in that dead zone at a marathon where I'm slower than the really fast people and faster than
like no man's land.
Like I'm in this weird, like if you run, I feel like in a marathon, if you run from 7:50 to 8:15, you're in a weird spot.
That's like 3:30.
Yeah. I think that's a weird, because most people are like either trying to do
break 3:30
or have a low 3.
Yeah.
And then the next group is like, I just want to finish sub 4. So like when you're in that middle area, it's just like, I feel like it opens up and you're by yourself. But in this one, you're 100% right. Now I was surprised by the crowds. I would rank the German crowds, even though there's a lot of people. Japan was the quietest. Mm-hmm. I think, culturally, I think that's a thing. Mm-hmm. I think Germany was second.
I would agree.
I kind of felt that too. And
because we tried to rile them up. I'm with Aubrey. We're having fun. And we're doing the hands thing to get, hey, let's get some cheers.
They weren't doing it. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I mean, they had some good music sections. And
I love the bands, the drums.
Yeah. So they did well in that area. And I really like the fire trucks that were spraying water on the course. That was nice.
I didn't have that.
What?
No.
You probably did. You probably didn't see it.
Okay.
You're running too fast.
There's like 10 of them at least.
What?
Yeah.
I would have said 2.
There was one water thing that I saw and I avoided it because I was like, I think I'll get cold.
Maybe not 10, but there was definitely more than 5.
Okay.
All right.
It was pretty, like, at the same time, I was like, I didn't want to step in a puddle and get all that water on my shoes, but it was nice having the option.
Yeah, I was super worried about that because I was going back and forth on what shoe to choose. And I ended up going with the Evo. And my one worry was that those shoes get very slippery when it's wet.
Yeah.
And so I was very conscious to what was really nice was because we had handhelds and I did see my bottle out there. We avoided all of the water stops.
So you did find your bottle?
Yeah, but it was very hilarious. So Megan had 3 bottles out there and she got her first one. And I helped her, like, she unscrewed it and then I held a bottle and then she dumped one into the other one, whatever. And it looked like she spilled it, but it looked like she did a fine job. So I'm like, oh, I'll do that with mine too. So I grab it and I screwed the top on really tight. So I'm like trying to run and trying to unscrew this thing. And I have 2 handhelds in my right now. And Megan didn't realize what I was doing. So she's up ahead. And so I'm like trying to unscrew this. And so I finally catch back up to her and I'm like, can you just hold this for a second? I unscrew the top and then I'm trying to like dump one water bottle into the other one. But
that's the thing I don't understand. Why are you trying to transfer?
Because it has like a giant thing on it. It's like my handheld's easy to hold in my hand.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to dump the liquid in.
I got you.
But it literally got all over me. Like I'm like shaking like this. It's just, and I was like, I think I got maybe another sip in here. But
sounds like a family double dare challenge where you're trying to get as much liquid into the cup.
Yeah.
Put that like on the head.
Yeah.
Like put it on their head.
Yeah.
The so that's interesting for me. Like, Robbie, what did you use to fuel?
So I had, as I said in the beginning of the podcast, I took LMNT night before and the morning of, and then I had 6 gels.
What brand?
So I had 1 Morton regular, 1 Morton calf, 1 goo Roctane with caffeine, 1 goo Roctane without caffeine, and then 2 more goos, and just kind of alternated, starting 15 minutes before the race, and then every half hour.
Okay. I just went by 5Ks.
I did exactly like 30 minutes every. 30.
Okay. I forgot my, I wanted Never Second,
Oh yeah.
but I ended up buying, I left them at home and
They really were never second.
Yeah.
They were never first either.
And so I got all I got the goose and I got some Roctanes with caffeine and stuff like that. I didn't even care. Like once you told me it was like 4 milligrams of caffeine and it's not that much, I was like, it doesn't matter. So it was like, I just put them in there and whatever I pulled out.
Yeah.
That's what I ate, but I did it every 5K. And then I did grab 1 more. So I think I did cause I knew I was going to be out there for a while. Mm-hmm. I did 8 goos and then added a Morton in there.
Wow. Oh, so I did grab one of the Mortons.
On the course?
Mortons?
Yeah.
I don't even remember seeing them. Where were they?
There was a whole lineup.
Like a mile 22 or something.
Okay, that's when I started.
Was
to
that
die.
that far in?
I think there's.
They said 37K, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would. How often were you trying to do math in your head? Because there's not mile markers. It's all Ks. How often were you trying to?
Well, I knew that
40. You have your watch.
I mean, I had my watch, but I knew 42K was the distance. So, it's once you get past the 21K, then.
Like I was trying to do 0.6 mile.
Yeah. I mean, I had my watch and I could line it up close enough. Like when I got to the 21K mark, I was like, okay, I'm 0.15 over in mileage. So I figured, okay, I'm going to need to run 22 and a half miles, probably to finish, which is what it was. And then, I was feeling pretty good. But by the way, we didn't mention the temperature did we mention that? It's perfect.
No, it was lovely. It was like 48, 50.
Yeah.
It didn't feel as cold as I thought that would feel like.
Once you start going and you're in the sun, I mean, I was pouring water over my head most water stops.
But it was cold. Beautiful day.
Yeah. And then we got to, I mean, I was feeling pretty good personally, like running, it's like I said, I started out a little slower, 8:05, then dropped it down to 7:45. And then
regardless of pace and time, did this feel like your best marathon?
Yeah, for sure. No, it was definitely the best marathon I've ever run, because I was able to hold that pace pretty well. Just the only time I struggled, there's a couple times when it went up to like 8 minutes and stuff, was because of the crazy water stations. Like if I had stopped to get water, it was just so chaotic and hard to navigate that it would take time off.
That was the nice thing about being casual and running the way that we were running is I said, hey, we're going to hit every water station.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
And there's only, right, it was crazy, but
and if you are running it next year, the water stations are only on one side of the street. So you have to work your way over if you're on the opposite side, which is again crazy because everybody's trying to cross in front of everyone else and running into everyone.
And they have the cups they use are hard plastic.
Oh my
cups.
gosh, why is that a thing?
I don't know, but so you can't pinch them. That was the other great thing about running a pace. I didn't care about the time is I would stop and drink.
Yeah, right. I mean, I usually, not always, but I try to just stop for a second because I hate choking on the water. But I don't understand why they use plastic cups, because they're hard cups that everybody's stepping on and crunching and
then they turn
on.
into like shards of slip.
And just not to, even from an environmental standpoint, it seems like that is just so many cups. Talking like
meanwhile they're making biodegradable bibs. Like what?
Right. So
let's get into that. You want to talk about the bib?
And I don't want to complain about
my bib was perfect though. My bib was like a Tyvek material.
I had no problems with the bib either. But for certain people, I think Mike Coe, Alex Hermanson,
me.
Oh, that was yours too. Yeah,
mine disintegrated.
Just absolutely, it was just paper.
Yeah. And
so there was the pins. It came off, right?
Yeah.
So what did you do?
Well, mine stayed until the end. Like it stayed on there. Okay. But like it just like melted off of my.
But Mike Coe's came off the pins. Alex Hermanson.
Yeah, he said he had to adjust his a bunch of times.
He had to stop and repin the whole thing.
That happened to me one time in a race, but it was because my hand hit the edge of the bib
Yeah.
and pulled the pin out.
Right, but not actual paper disintegrating.
Well, and I'm imagining if that was a hot day and we were all sweating more
and dropping water on
more
them.
salt
Pouring water.
and pouring water, like those would have been done for.
So I did a dorky thing, but I'm glad I did it. They had a thing for if you're doing your 6-star. They had a thing you put on your back that did like basically cheer for me. I'm getting my 6-star.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's corny, but I loved having it on there. I got so many people who ran by that was like, congratulations,
that's cool.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I like that they had your names on the bib. People were reading the bibs and yelling out your name. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I will say there's a couple times, and I'm sure you experienced it as well, that somebody was like someone came up beside me and was like, Are you famous? Are you Robbie Redinger? I was like, so they were just joking. But,
do you know who got called out a ton? Aubrey.
oh yeah.
Dude, he was,
Yeah. No, I mean, he
got more calls than I did.
yeah. But I wanted to say that somebody even said, oh, I saw you during the race, like on my Strava. They said, I saw you during the race, but I didn't want to mess you up. I was like, dude, if you see me in the race, you better say hi to me, because that's going to be like
The boost.
That makes me like, gives me energy for the next half mile.
It's also just like a nice distraction.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, what's happening?
It's like, don't ignore
Yeah.
me during a race. Come say hi.
It is
Hang
fun.
out.
This race particularly, I realized how fun distractions are, like doing different things and just kind of like, and I have to take that into when I am doing a hard effort to maybe bring that mindset into like break up the race. Cause it really did help. Like we were doing goofy stuff, like you'll see the video, but going up to the bands and stuff like that.
Yeah. But anyways, so I thought that personally I was feeling good through 16. And like I said before, I was just sipping on
Gin and juice.
LMNT. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a Hydro Pack bottle, one of those 12 ounce bottles or so. No. I had like a plastic one.
Yeah.
16 ounces. But anyway, so I was just sipping on that and drinking water, but no other, I guess they only had tea or whatever.
Yeah.
And felt pretty good. The only time I got a little nauseous was when I took a caffeine gel at like mile 12. And I was like a little nervous there for a second. But then I started slowing down around like 18. Just like, I felt like it was the same effort, but I was running like 10 seconds per slower.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I was like, and dude, I will say miles 12 to 18, there was like a lot of doubt in my mind where I just had to keep pushing out because I was like just expecting, you know how every last few marathons I run is just like collapse around 18 or 20, you just like totally hit the wall. And I was like, I had to just keep telling myself, it's like, no, you actually feel good, because I did feel way better. And I kept thinking like, oh no, it's gonna fall apart. So I was just like, you feel good. Today is like a perfect day. Just like keep it at right here and just like get to 20. I was like, just get to 20. If I can just get to 20, it'll be fine. It's like feeling like this when I get to 20, I'll be good. And then, so like I said, slowing down a bit, and I did get to 20. And then I was like, all right, like got to keep the pace. And then we'll see what happens when we get to 22. And then when I got to still feeling good, about the same pace, dropped it a little bit back to where I wanted to be. And then I was like, yeah, 5K left. I'm like doing the math and I'm like, okay, 5K, look at my watch. And I'm like,
See, doing the math during the run, that is so insane.
So dangerous.
It was 3:06 on my watch, 3:06:50. And I was like a 5K, I was at mile 24. So I knew I had 2.5 miles to go. So I was like 2.5, that would be 7-minute miles would be 17.5 minutes. So, put on 20, or I was like 8-minute miles. Anyways, whatever I figured out was like, I forget in my head how I did now, but I was like, I knew I needed to run like 7-minute miles to get under my PR.
Final check-in. Man, I hope we're going to see you in Chicago. I hope we're going to see you at our shakeout run. I know I will be cheering for you on the sidelines in Chicago. So if you hear this voice yelling just know I'm out there for you. Can't wait to see it. It's going to be a blast. I've run Chicago a couple times. It is clearly one of the best marathons on the planet. That's why it's in the 6-star major marathons. Let's have fun. If you're not running Chicago, I hope you're having fun training for whatever you're doing. And if I could cheer for you, I would cheer for you wherever you are. So talk to you soon.
I was just like, well, let's see how this goes. So I just like dropped it down to 7:08, and I was like, all right, like if I could hold it to the Brandenburg Gate, like, cause I knew that was about a half a mile from when I would see it till the
Okay,
end.
let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
Tommy warned me that there's a lot of turns before you got there.
I was not warned of this.
And I saw the kids race, and I saw kind of where we were going, but it was definitely more turns than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I think, the worst part of the race for me. Well, so Megan and I ran together until like 20 miles, and then we were like, at that point, if I'm feeling good, I'll go off or whatever. But I was not feeling good, and she was. So she took off, and then I started to get those like calf spasms, which I like haven't gotten in a couple years now. And I was
Since you
like,
started working with feathers.
Ooh.
and I was like, why is this happening? I took all my nutrition. I've been hydrating, but it got to a point where I couldn't, like, I knew when I tried to speed up, it would just get worse. And so I was just in this like
Balancing.
dance of like, how fast can I run without my legs totally blowing up?
That is the worst feeling, because I've been there. It's like a balance. It's
Yeah.
like, this is as hard as I can push. If I push a little harder, something's going to break. That's a dangerous spot.
But it was also the first time where I went from my calves to then like my like groin area. And then I had in my foot, like was cramping up. And I, like, it felt like I was like super dehydrated, but I wasn't, I don't think. So I was very confused. But anyway, I was doing this weird balancing act, and that's like all those turns.
Yeah.
Every time I had to do a turn, it was like terrifying, because like your legs like moving in any direction was bad.
So you're coming up to the Brandenburg Gate.
And so I remember what I was thinking. So when I looked at my watch, it was like 3:06:50, and if I kept the pace that I had, it was going to like be very close to not making my PR. Like, and because that would be 20 minutes added onto that 3:27. So I was like, dude, this is it, man. Like, this has been months of training. It's a day. I still feel good. I'm not cramping. I was like, just see how much time you could take off. Like, try to get under 3:25. Like, or you know what I mean? And so, or just get into the 3:25 range. Cause I'm like, what else are you doing? Like, there's nothing else to do. Just go all out. So I went as fast as I could, and I was like, yeah. And then those turns coming up to the Brandenburg Gate was super mentally tough, because I thought the next turn was going to be the gate, and then the next turn, and it wasn't.
Same thing. Yeah.
And then finally, I was like, where is it? Because I'm like, look at my watch. I'm like, there's only like a half mile to go. Like, how are we not there yet? And then finally came around to it, and just like went as hard as I could. And
it is the best part of the course. It's lined on both sides. The Brandenburg Gate is iconic.
Yeah.
And because we gone the day before or whatever and checked it out, you knew that, hey, you get through this gate, it's basically 200 meters to the finish. And I was talking to, so I'm with around mile, what would be 37K?
That's 5. Oh yeah.
22.
No, 23.
23.
So I had to kind of in the beginning of the race keep Aubrey under check.
Yeah.
I was like, look, you'll lose the race if you. I can't tell you how many people say I had a great half marathon. That was the best half marathon I've ever had, and then they have a miserable finish at the end. So, like when we were running earlier, I was like, hey, just calm down. We got this. And I kept telling him that, and I felt it too. Like, it just felt so easy in the beginning. I was like, we've got this. And round 37, all of a sudden, his quad started acting up. And he said, it's cramping, and he started slowing down. And I'm like, okay. Well, he's like, when we get to the water station, he's like, can you dump water on my calves? That usually helps, like if cold water. So every water stop for the rest of the race from there on, I was taking 2 cups of water and throwing it on the back of his leg as we were running.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, dude, it'll be.
That's got to be psychological. That can't actually do anything.
It's got to be in his his video. But so I'm dumping water on him at every stop. And then he's really kind of struggling. Like the wheels are falling off. And so I went from being like kind of nice to, okay, it's tough love time. And we're getting down to those turns in the Brandon. He's slowing down. You know how you can kind of feel when someone's okay with letting it slow down? Like, oh, I'll
They're mentally checked out.
distract myself with the crowd or something. I had to pull him back in. We got back in. We're running. And I was like, all right. Because I had told him earlier, I said, if you still feel good at mile 20, we can pick it up. We got to mile 20. I'm like, you want to pick it up? And I already knew the answer. He's like, no.
Yeah.
And so we get down. It may have been like 27K where it started hurting him. It might have been earlier. But we finally get through. And that's when I'm like, okay, I know you can't do it. Maybe the last 5K, we'll try to kick it in. Didn't want to do that. So I'm just like, all right, when we get to the Brandenburg gate, I want it to be a sprint finish. Like we're running to the end. He was coming in like, the shaky. It was like turbulence. Please buckle up. But we got in and his goal was 4:30. We came in at 4:25. Yeah. So I was pretty psyched by that. We had a good, we walked through water stops. We interacted with the audience and stuff like that. So it was a good experience.
Yeah.
And we came in under his goal time.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was a success.
Yeah, that's awesome for sure.
And you got your PR.
Yeah. So I ended up running 3:26:15, which is like a minute and 15 off my PR from 2018.
That's awesome.
So that was great.
2018 was Harrisburg. Is it a similar course in the elevation profile?
Actually, yeah, it's pretty similar. Yeah, pretty flat.
That's nice.
And so, that felt great to finally, 6 years to get a PR, even though it's just a little bit. But
you go back to your article that you wrote.
Which one?
You had some rocky times in there during the previous marathon.
Oh yeah.
Finishes and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not only like a physical feat. Like obviously you went through all the training and all that, but like the mental, because I've been in that cycle of it happened last time, it's going to happen again. And I think that's the fact that you got through that is impressive.
Yeah. No, that was like a little bit difficult because I just kept thinking it's going to fall apart the whole time. And I was
hard.
like a little bit surprised.
No, I know exactly what he's talking about.
And that's also why I didn't want to push until like later, because I was like, I probably could have maybe run a little bit faster, but I was just like, I was convinced it was going to blow up if I tried to push.
It's funny. I'm on the opposite side where it's like with my training and stuff, I'm always like, this is going to be the race. This one, like I thought Boston was, I'm prepared. My training went well. And I'm like, today's going to be the day. And you get out there and it's just not your day.
Yeah.
Whether it's weather or whatever. But I thought that was pretty, like I messaged Meg like you were texting me and I was like, how did Robbie do? And I was like, I have no idea if Robbie had a Robbie day or if Robbie like killed it. And I was expecting you to actually PR. I thought I thought maybe this would be a 5-minute like PR for you. You've been running well.
Yeah, I think maybe it could be. I mean, maybe it could have been if I think the travel and all the stuff like takes more out of you. So it's like if it was just a normal like race here that was the same temperatures, I mean maybe. But then also like a lot of the races that we've had have been travel, a lot of events before. New York City and Boston were super hot. Like, so it's been probably since Harrisburg, since I had ideal
conditions.
I think it's honestly the first marathon that I run because Tokyo was good weather, but I got zero sleep.
Yeah. Well, and also Tokyo was tough. We did a lot leading up to it. Like we were at a tie-dye place.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is also the first time I haven't rolled my ankle in training since.
That's amazing.
That's what it is.
So I know, and Megan, you didn't get exactly what you wanted, but it wasn't a bad race.
No. So Castor and I decided the day before it was not a PR attempt at all, but we wanted to at least get into maybe the high 240s to get back into like that. So it was a little upsetting. Instead of picking it up after 20, I slowed down after 20, but I mean, I had cramps and there wasn't I don't know much I could do on the day. So
It's interesting for me taking the pressure off and just kind of like running with Aubrey and bringing him to a PR or a first time marathon. It was good for me because it kind of reset. Like I think I had been banging my head against the wall for so long, like I trained really hard for New York last year, and that one just didn't come together for me. Obviously, we talked about that in the past. Boston, trained really excellent for it, and the heat just got to me. So I was kind of getting to that, like a burnout, like why do I try so hard? And then I keep hitting like these bad luck days of either heat or something goes wrong. It's like I spend so much time training, and I love the training, but it just wasn't paying off for me on race day. So this was kind of fun for me to be like, even though I came into this with like my longest run being 14 miles, I was a little nervous that
That's actually pretty amazing. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I hope I can pace him to a 4:30.
I mean, yeah, that's, that's no joke.
Yeah. So, I hurt my back.
Your pet's heads were falling off.
Yeah, I had a leg issue. It was a really weird lead up, but to just kind of it was the first time in a long time that I just really had a fun time running. I think the last one was Boston in 23.
Oh, yeah.
And then I enjoyed Tokyo as well, but neither of those were efforts where I was trying to like crush the marathon. I really am dying for like a Robbie day where it's like it all comes together on the day to produce something special for yourself. So I'm a little jealous of that, but I'm not so jealous that I really love running I love running with Jarrett when we did a marathon. I ran with Brandon in Tokyo and Boston, and running with Aubrey, seeing the marathon through somebody's first time, their eyes. It's amazing. It's just so much fun.
That's cool.
Megan's over 30 now, marathon.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm over 40.
I can't believe, I mean, I knew that you had run over 40 marathons, but I heard someone ask you on the plane, I'm like, that's actually insane that you still love running.
Well, now I'm like, it's one of those things, like it was funny. I'm reading or listening to a book right now, and it talks about like everybody thinks they're going to get to a peak or a point. Like if I do this, I'll be satisfied. Or if I achieve this in my business or personal goals, I've reached that summit. He's like, there's no time that you're not going to be working in your life. You need to continually don't think of it as an endpoint. Maybe you have a goal to get to a certain, milestone. But the idea that you're going to reach something and be satisfied and stop working, it's not there. You're either going to stop working and not be satisfied,
right,
or continue working and not be satisfied.
Yeah, that's true.
But it is. It's kind of like you finished the Berlin, and you can't tell me now you had a great training block. That possibility, you're like, hey, maybe I could shave off.
Yeah, I know. I was almost wishing I had a terrible race, so I got to quit running. I just feel like I'm done.
I'm almost like I was like, do I sign up for the Baltimore half? I know I hate the course and stuff, but
that's a great race.
Yeah, and maybe I can talk Jarrett into doing it.
Yeah,
and
if I wasn't running Chicago, I would be doing it for sure.
Yeah, you're
dude. By the way,
right, you do have
like Chicago. Yeah.
Real quick, one last note on the shoes.
We should talk about this.
So I did. Actually, I really love the Adios Pro 4, like the ride and the upper, and honest, when I kicked it in the last couple miles, I felt like it really came alive, like during that. I was almost surprised at how much. And then the only thing is that I wear, and I know my size is very small, like size 7, but I wear size 7 in every Adidas shoe. And every single one. And
Samba?
And this, no, I do wear, that's the problem. I got a 6.5 in the Samba.
Oh, okay.
And so I got the same size in the Adios Pro 4, and it felt fine. I did that 8-mile workout in it. It felt fine, but it runs, at least in my size, a bit small. And because I did try them on today, and I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty close to the front of the shoe. And I mashed my big toes.
I did get on my left foot, my toe was hurting during the race. I do think it's weird. I don't think it's a full half size that it needs to go up. It's almost just like, I know they built a new last for this one. Like maybe just a little, like a hair longer.
Yeah.
And
Because it's not a full thumb, of course, or it's more like a half a thumb from the
yeah,
front.
it needs that extra half thumb.
Can I show you my toenail?
No,
Dude, look under the table.
no, you can't. I can't. It's probably disgusting and black and stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
You don't want to see it?
No, I don't.
What? You're not into that?
Not into that.
Come on, man.
Carl likes feet.
Carl, you
want to come look
Crawl
at
under the table, Carl. Good boy.
I will tell you my perception of the shoe. I do really like this shoe. I think at the pace I was going,
Yeah.
I probably should have gone with the Evo SL.
Yeah. By the way, if you want to see the toenail, just DM me and I'll send you a free pic. Just, can you do tips on Instagram?
Yeah.
You need a different feed for that.
I want to see how many people actually DM me, how many freaks there are out
gosh.
there.
So
People are still listening to this. We've been rambling for.
Dude, there's the real freaks are still here.
Yeah.
I know that.
eye freaks.
Yeah.
But the shoe I think is really good. I just at a 10-minute pace, I think I would go with something less aggressive. And then I started just feeling like I could feel kind of like a little problem in my arch from the plate and stuff like that. But I mean, maybe some people will be fine with
That's
it.
interesting because I was feeling that in the beginning, the arch, and I was like, oh man, this could be bad. But then it went away and never came back. So I don't know.
Yeah. I
Maybe need
mean,
to break in some more for me.
I don't think it's a fair, like, yes, the distance, time on feet, I put in the shoe, but literally not at the pace we were going, it wasn't, I don't think it was the right choice for me. Like,
Yeah.
I believe that Aubrey was fine with it.
Yeah. If I probably had a half size bigger and assuming that also fit as well as the size, like the upper and everything, I don't know. This might be like the ride itself
Is really nice.
actually probably my favorite ride because it has a little more, it's definitely super bouncy. So I'm pushing on it. So I love the also the asymmetric speed, but that rocker can be a little bit aggressive. And I feel like sometimes maybe my calves hurt, it beats your legs up a little bit more. My legs felt surprisingly good after this race. Of course, it was a flat course, but I
like where they have the
rocker point or whatever.
the toe spring
Yeah.
is phenomenal.
So I actually, the ride itself I loved. And if it wasn't for me destroying my big toes and size that was probably too small, I would for sure. I don't think I would race anything
It's
else.
definitely top 3 for me.
I mean, I do like like I said, I like the A6 Metaspeed. For the rocker, like I do like the more aggressive rocker in that / plate feel. But as far as more comfort and everything, I feel like this
has a little more give in the midsole.
like that's what I mean. But it's not soft.
No,
Like it's not soft at all. You don't feel that sinking feeling that you might get in some other shoes.
I would say SC Elite has more of a sinky
Oh yeah, for sure.
feeling. No, I think this is a phenomenal shoe. The weight is correct.
Yeah,
Again,
very
like,
light on the foot.
and I don't know, and it's just the way I'm running. I mean, I don't know if my toe. I guess my toe would still be jammed on my left side. So my left foot is slightly bigger than my right foot. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think looking back at it though, I was kind of like, I probably should have just won the SL, the Evo SL. I think it would have been fine at that pace.
Do you think my toenails will fall off?
Yeah,
Definitely.
Oh, hell yeah! Because I was like, they were getting a little weird, and I was kind of hoping they'd fall off.
Dude, I watched that One Love, the
Bob
Marley movie.
Oh,
on
is
the-
it really? I didn't know that. but
And yeah, that.
his toenails fell off.
Well, no, he had very rare skin cancer, but he got kicked playing football, and
his whole body fell apart.
it didn't heal because of the cancer in his body.
I thought you were gonna say because he had bad toenails.
I always thought he got shot.
He did get shot. He survived that.
Wait, so wait, what's that have to do with the toenails?
That his toenail never healed, and it was because he had this very rare melanoma cancer that actually killed him.
Oh, do you think I have that?
No.
Oh, okay.
So
What's turf toe though? Is that what I have?
No, turf toe is usually from like soccer players get that.
I thought it's like from
football
it's like
players.
not being clean.
No, it's actually stress from like.
Oh, it's when it's forcefully bent upwards, the
Yeah.
sprain of the metatarsal. Okay, so
all right,
I don't have that.
All three of us got this beautiful 50th anniversary medal
Yeah, we did.
that it's double sided. Like it's got Berlin on one side, the city, and then the nice 50th anniversary.
I'm sure people have seen it on the gram.
Which side is heads and which side's tails?
I would say heads
the back
is
is
the front.
tails. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. And then two of us completed this, got the 5-star medal, 6-star.
It's like is yours a special?
Yeah, it is. I'm special. Yeah, we got the 6-star. Megan and I finished our 6-star journey.
Oh, the TV tower's on there.
Yeah. And, I didn't realize how much it would mean to me to get it. Like, it was kind of like, I was like, yeah.
I honestly wasn't even that excited until I finished the race and walked up to that tent, and everyone there was so jazzed
Yeah.
and like cheering for me.
Ted Metellus
I
from the
happened
New
to
York
be
City
the
Roadrunner was
first
there.
lady to go get mine, so I think they were like extra
That's cool.
excited, but it was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it is special.
Yeah.
And it was a fun marathon.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Did you consider being the first to the track house?
We went straight there, but we literally took the train with a girl who ran a 248. So we knew that was out the
gotcha.
window. Yeah, I don't think they cared if we were the first people there.
Do they do that anymore?
I don't know. It didn't seem like they did in Berlin.
Maybe they do in Boston, just Boston.
Okay, I know this has been a really long podcast, but let's talk about Chicago real quick.
All right.
Okay.
Chicago's going to be baller.
Yeah, so next week we are going to Chicago on Thursday and immediately hosting a shakeout run.
And this
3
is-
run 2.
Yeah, this is the hat I'm actually holding.
That's
if you're
going to
not
the Saturday
watching.
run.
Oh, never mind.
Yep, not yet.
Good to douche.
Okay, so it's 6:30 p.m. at Goose Island Tap Room. So I'm thinking it'll be a run followed by some beverages.
And we're not running the marathon.
We're not. It's 6:30
Robbie, you are.
on Thursday.
Yeah, wait. But it's like chill. It's cool.
Yeah.
You can hang out.
Chill.
So definitely meet us there. And then our big shakeout run, which we're doing with Endorphins and Fleet Feet and doing a launch of the 1080 V14, is happening on Saturday at 9 a.m. It says it's sold out, but you can just come.
Yeah, just come. They didn't update the reservation thing or the RSVP. Look, it's going to be banging. And we have the first 500 people are going to get the corduroy hat that we've been doing. Like we did one for Brooklyn. We did one for Boston. This one is a burgundy color with the...
It's sweet.
It's
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
It has the Believe Run logo on the front, New Balance on the side, and then Chicago embroidered on the back.
It's actually, yeah, you're going to want that.
This is getting worn.
Yeah. So it's pretty sweet. And then on top of that, we're going to have food and drinks.
Yeah, it's going to be like a whole party. It's going to be a great time.
There's
You
going to
definitely
be
want to come.
other giveaways are going to be happening.
You can try on New Balance shoes.
Wait, there's a DJ.
Yeah, we're giving out swag. There's other stuff we don't even know about that's going to be there.
Yeah, this is going to be probably one of the best Chicago shakeout
All
runs.
the sub 4 hour people that are running with Robbie should definitely attend.
Yeah, if you're running with me, well, you have received an email, if you didn't check your inbox, about the run. I sent that out.
How many
Wednesday.
people have RSVP'd for this run?
Around 75.
It's going to be a
no,
time.
for our shakeout
Oh,
run.
for shakeout?
It went
Yeah,
over
that's just your That's just
1,000. It tapped out at 1,000.
Okay, yeah, just come anyway.
Yeah.
Get there early so
Still
you
don't
can get the
understand.
hat.
I don't understand how it's possible, but okay. It's insane. And sorry, what else were you going to say? Megan?
Okay, and then on Sunday, we're doing a cheer zone at mile 22 with Fleet Feet. So if you want to cheer with us, come. We'll probably be there around like 9:30 or
Which
so.
Fleet Feet are we having our shakeout run from? Because I know
It's
Co
at a
is also
different.
doing.
It's at a. I think it's like in a park. I'm not sure.
Okay.
There's links online.
Yeah, we'll post another post on
And
Instagram.
then finally, Sunday night, we'll be making an appearance at the post marathon dance party with 3 Run 2, which is at 9 p.m. at City Hall.
An appearance.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So if you're
That
going to be in
is-
Chicago, find us, come see us, come hang out.
That is-
We're
We
gonna
didn't
be-
mention that we went to a party after the marathon.
We went to the official Berlin after party, snuck our way up to VIP.
Yeah, we stayed there way too long.
We stayed there till we got home and then got up and got on a plane.
And we
It was good
basically had
times.
3 hours of sleep before we had to get on a plane. I did not feel good. All right. So we mentioned at the top of the podcast that Robbie had a cigarette. Robbie, why? What was the deal with a cigarette?
Look, here's the deal. This is a one night.
By the way,
smoke.
the cigarette packs in Germany are seriously
Oh
frightening.
my gosh, they have like dead people
Yeah,
on them.
well, the dude on the one pack, it looked like he had a shark bite. I was like, maybe
Yeah.
the sharks are attracted to nicotine now. I don't know. But I was like, dude, I didn't smoke a cig when we were in Venice or Paris. And you know
Paris,
what?
I was surprised.
You know what? I regretted it. I was like, I'm in Europe. Like, if there's one place I'm going to do it in my life, you know where I actually really regret it was Tokyo and when those back alley bars. I wish I would have just done it.
You got to get a photograph.
And I figured, here's my 2 rules in life from now on.
You only have 2?
If you're in international waters, cigs don't count. If it's a PR, if you're gonna smoke a cigar, why not smoke a cig?
I don't think anybody's smoking cigars.
People do it. Dude, after the race, Europeans are just lining up and smoking cigs right after.
I have to say, I probably would. I don't know if I would have smoked a whole cigarette with you, but if I was with you when you had a pack of cigarettes, I probably would have taken one just puffed it because it is Europe.
Yeah, it's whatever. So,
and I would have bought a leather jacket.
So a friend of ours who might not want to be named, he and I grabbed a beer, headed down to the river because you can drink in public there, which is also cool. I mean, you can do it here too, Baltimore. No one cares.
Yeah.
But then shared a couple cigs, and that was it. Threw the pack out, all good. It's not like I'm gonna.
Do you know who I feel
By
bad
the way,
for, though?
once I got to the second cig, I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm ever doing this again.
I felt bad for Carl because I think Carl would have loved to.
Yeah, Carl, dude, I'm so sorry. I should have at least texted you to see where your head was at or what you were doing, because Carl had a super sad day, and I knew like a cig would probably cure all his troubles, but I don't know.
A smoke and a
and
pancake.
for anyone out there judging me, look, this is.
You're not a smoker.
No.
It's a cigarette.
Yeah.
Like, I think you can do like a little heroin.
Just some fentanyl.
Just one time, some blow or something. It's just one cigarette.
But you know what? It was nice. Got it out of the way. Next time we're in Europe, maybe. Probably not, though. All right.
It's time.
All right, Meg, wrap it up.
Oh, that's it. We'll see everyone in Chicago.
Yep.
Hi, Mom.